Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to create this look. Today I am actually super busy, but I wanted to go ahead and record this look because I think it's something that every girl needs to kind of have in her back pocket. I am going to be judging my college's cheerleading tryouts today, and then I have a friend's surprise birthday party, so I needed a look that could really transfer from day to night without too much work in between. So if I do add anything extra to this look, it might just be a different shade lipstick, or it might be just a little bit of eyeliner underneath my eyes, but it's something that isn't too intense for the day, but something that I don't have to do much to transfer into the night. And I'm basically going to be coming right back from the cheerleading tryouts and having to leave straight for the party. So again, I needed something that's gonna last me all day and something that it works for both occasions. Tell me what you think about this look in the comments down below, and definitely give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. And yeah, if you want to see how I created this look, just keep watching.
I'm going to start by using an abundance of primers, first being the Smashbox Primer Water. I'm just going to spritz this over my face. I let it dry a little bit, and then I'm using the Urban Decay Brightening and Tightening Primer, and I'm just rubbing this all over my face. I am focusing a little more on my areas that I have larger pores, so my nose and my T-zone, but I do still put it all over my face. And finally, I'm using the Clinique Pore Refining Solutions primer. This is super amazing for like blurring out large pores if you have them. So I do just focus on my larger pore areas, right around my cheeks, my T-zone area, and around my nose. I just press this into the skin lightly. Currently in between colors right now, so I'm going to be mixing two of my L'Oreal Infallible All Day Matte Foundations. I'm just going to mix this on the back of my hand, and then I'm just going to use my finger and apply it on my face. And my hands are clean, so make sure that if you are using your fingers to your hands, that your hands are clean. Then I'm going to be using my Sigma flat top kabuki brush and just pressing this into my skin. As you can see, I'm just using dabbing motions to get it into my skin, and then I start really applying it in more circular motions. Now I'm going to go in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Cream Contour Kit. Love this kit. And I'm going to use a little bit of the Tarte Maracuja oil and just put a drop on each of the colors that I'm going to be using. I find that this helps it smooth out a little bit and just makes it a little creamier and easier to apply. So now I'm going to use a foundation brush and just start from the top of my ear and go about halfway down my cheek with the contour. I'm keeping this line pretty light because I am going to buff it out a little bit later. I'm also going to do a little bit of nose contouring, so I just take this down the sides of my nose, and then I also apply a little bit to my forehead. Using a damp beauty sponge now, you can just go ahead and blend this out using light patting motions. Now you do have to be kind of patient with this because it doesn't blend out immediately. You are using a pretty dark color to contour, so just make sure you take your time. Really don't want to swipe this across your face, really want to keep it with the dabbing and blotting motions. Now using my Sigma concealer brush, I'm going to add the lighter shades of my contour and highlight. And I'm just going to run this down the bridge of my nose. I'm going to put this right underneath my darker contour on my cheeks. And then I am also going to put this on the center of my forehead. And again, I'm using that same beauty sponge and just blending everything out. Now using one of my favorite setting powders, this is the Airspun Translucent Powder. I'm just going to go ahead and set my contour and highlight. So I'm just going to go and put this on where I applied the lighter colors to my face, and then let this set while I do the rest of my makeup. You probably noticed I didn't add any concealer or highlight underneath my eyes yet. I really like using the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. It's really great for underneath your eyes. It really covers up any dark circles or imperfections, and it's also a super amazing eyeshadow base. I'm also going to use this to highlight my chin, my cupid's bow, and right around the corners of my mouth. Now you can see my sad face because I'm wasting some of my favorite concealer. Now using my Sigma pointed blender brush, I don't remember the exact name off the top of my head, but I just use this in patting motions. I actually learned this trick from Jaclyn Hill, and I still really do love using this brush, even though I will use my beauty blender, but I just love the way that this comes out, and I love the way that it blends everything out. Now going back with the same brush that we used to apply our foundation without any additional product, I'm just going to go ahead and blend one more time, really just to make sure everything is blended out and our foundation and concealer blend together. Now this is somewhat of a new product for me. This is the Tarte Smooth Operator Translucent Powder. I've really been liking this. I will say that you have to be careful that you don't go too heavy with it because sometimes it can kind of give like a white flashback. But I am using this to set my eyelids as well as my under eye. Now because I do want this look to last all day, I'm also going to bake my face. So using that same damp beauty sponge, I'm just going to dip it into the translucent powder and apply it underneath my eyes. I also really like using the Airspun powder for this, but because I already had the Smooth Operator out and open, I just decided to keep using that. For bronzer, I am going to be using my NYX Matte Bronzer in the shade Medium. And I'm just going to take my Morphe G1 and apply this right over top of where I applied my contour. This just really deepens it, and I just really like the way that this looks, and it kind of warms it up a little bit as well. For the rest of my face, however, I'm going to be using a kabuki brush just because it's a little bit lighter, doesn't apply quite as much product. So I'm just going to apply this to the top of my forehead. All right, moving on to eyeshadow. I'm going to be using a Morphe brush here with my Romantic Riesling palette from Lorac, which I love. I just love these colors. These are my shades. So I'm going to take the lightest color and I'm going to apply a little bit of brow bone highlight. You can do this after as well. Sometimes I do it before. Honestly, you can do whatever you want to do. For my crease color, I'm going to be using a Sigma shader brush with this medium tone color from the Riesling palette, and I'm just going to be applying this to my crease and just above. So if I wanted to keep it just in the crease, I would use a more precise brush, but because I do want to bring it up higher on my lid, I decided to use the shader brush instead. Now I'm just going to do a quick blending of the shadows using my Morphe E27. And you want to make sure that you hold this brush at the very end because you really want to make sure that you're letting the brush do the work. Now, for the reason why I avoided my lids when putting on my eyeshadow, I am going to be using this NYX eyeshadow base, and this is in white. And I'm actually just going to be using a cheapy e.l.f. concealer brush and applying this directly on my lid. So as you can see, I'm only putting this on my lid and I'm stopping at my crease. This really helps give you more pigmentation in your shadows. So if you're using a light shade, a pastel shade, and you really want that color to pop, definitely try putting on a base like the NYX eyeshadow base. Using my Morphe palette, this is one of their new shades. This is called Hooked. This is one of their like elite shadows. And using another shader brush from Morphe, I'm just going to go ahead and pack this on my lid. This is a really nice gold color, which is why I wanted to use that base because I really, really wanted it to pop. Now, as you can see, I don't really like that you can't see the colors that I'm doing, so I'm just going to zoom you in a little bit so you can really see how beautiful that gold shadow is. Now I'm going to be using a Morphe definer brush and taking the darkest shade in the Romantic Riesling palette. I'm just going to start by applying this color in the corners of my eye. That's where I want the most pigment to be, and then once I get the majority of the shadow off my brush, then I'm kind of going to drag it across my crease towards the corner of my eye. Now using that same E27 brush, we're just going to go ahead and blend everything together. Now because we did use such a dark color in the crease, you really want to make sure that you take your time blending here. You can never overblend, but if you don't blend enough, you can really have harsh lines in between your transitions, and that's really what we want to try and avoid. Now after blending everything together, I am going to go in and add a little bit more of that gold just to the lid because I really want it to pop. Now as you can see, I have quite a bit of fallout, but because we baked and we have so much of that powder underneath our eye, we don't have to worry about it. Just take any fluffy brush and then just go ahead and swipe it off, and then you don't have to worry about it streaking. I'm just going to go ahead and take any powder brush and just remove that excess powder that we have on the rest of our face. Seen me use this product before. This is one of my favorite highlighters, the Jaclyn Hill Champagne Pop. Absolutely love this. It's just beautiful. As you can see when I swatch it, it's just gorgeous. Like the color payoff on it is just amazing. Now using my Real Technique setting brush, I'm just going to lightly apply this to the high points of my cheekbone. I'm applying this just above where I applied my bronzer, and as you can tell, I am doing this before I apply my blush, just because I really like the way everything blends together. I'm also going to highlight my Cupid's bow, the tip of my nose, and just above my eyebrows, right above where my arch is. Now I'm going to go in with my blush, and I am using Tarte, and I believe the shade is called Blissful. I'm just going to go ahead and use a Real Techniques powder brush and apply this to the apples of my cheeks in just a circular motion, and I am just going to bring it back kind of towards my temple. And sometimes your husband comes home from a shopping adventure and wants to show you what he got in the middle of filming.
Sure. I'm filming right now. That's okay.
Okay, back to makeup. Now I'm just going to take a stippling brush and blend everything together. Now going in with my Revlon Skinny eyeliner, I am just going to go ahead and do a winged liner. I think I am going to film a more in-depth tutorial on how to achieve a winged liner, but I'm just doing it quickly and kind of fast forwarding through it today. Now I'm going to use some Bare Minerals Round the Clock 8 p.m. liner. I warn you, I'm about to tightline. So I'm just going to very lightly lift up my eyelid and then just apply this right underneath my lashes. One of my ride or die products is the L'Oreal Voluminous Waterproof Mascara. I'm just going to quickly apply this to my lashes. I actually like using two mascaras, one for my upper and one for my lower lashes. So for my lower lashes, I'm going to be using the Voluminous Million Lashes. So I just lightly apply this to my lower lashes. Now as you can see, I did get a little bit of mascara on the skin underneath my lashes. You do not want to touch this. Just leave it, let it be until it dries. It will wipe off super easy once it dries. I'm taking this NYX Wonder Pencil and just lining my waterline. It really opens up your eyes. Now taking the darkest color in that Romantic Riesling palette, I'm just taking a pencil brush and applying it to my lower lash line. I love these lashes. These are from Sephora and they're just half lashes. So taking this Duo eyelash glue, this is in the dark tone, I'm just going to apply these, and you really just apply them to the outer half of your lid. I really like the way these look because they're not too intense, so this is really good for that kind of day to nighttime look. Now you can see I'm taking that Q-tip and just removing that mascara that I got underneath my lashes. It came off super easy. Now taking the MAC Subculture lip liner, I'm just going to go ahead and line my lips. I did want to start with a really neutral nude lip for the beginning part of the day. And I'm also going to be taking this Maybelline 920 lipstick and applying this to my lips. Now to finish it all off, I'm using my Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray and then just gently misting my face. There you have it. That completes this day to night look. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, definitely give it a like and subscribe if you aren't already, and hopefully I will see you in my next video.